unsure what this is going to be. But Watering Hole is kind of a closed map, so you might be expecting some kind of defense from the underdogs of GVT. But let's start with the map. We are looking at Bastion right now, who has just played his lure. And does he see something useful here? Yeah, the usual starting hunt on the Watering Hole, but other than that, not really anything, just an extra pig here. Moving to another ArF, which is ArF. Also cast a lure and hunt, and he sees nice gold, which is pretty close to him, and also a relic. That's a freak Pegasus. Well, that's not all that great, but when it's for free, that's nice scouting. And he also sees a rhino. That's not bad at all for a starting position. Otherwise, nothing interesting yet. And the last ArF is Torgale. As a Ra, he also sees the rhino, so that's also nice as well. And the I don't know what the group of birds is called, of cranes. And the standard hunt. Otherwise, yeah, pretty much standard as the other guys. Moving to GVT. Matapato gathering from the starting hunt, and does he see something interesting? Well, a rhino as well, but he's guarded by 2 lions. That's an unusual group of animals, and very nice gold, which is pretty close to his base. This back one is also great, and he just discovered through Piggy 3 hippopotamuses. Hippopotami. Yeah, that's the correct one in English. That's gonna help him quite nicely, especially when it's a bag hunt. This is not a good hunt. And moving to Tadao. Alright, at his back he doesn't see anything, but he sees the cranes here near the water, and otherwise he has all the villies pretty close to his gold, so he might be having nice advance into heroic as a fast run through Isis, as he could put all those villies on gold pretty easily there. Well, let's see how he does it. Anyway, also Rhino here for him. Nice. And last one of GVT is Alfheim. Standard hunt. Nice hippos right at the back. And a relic. Cheaper secrets of the Titans. Great. And this seems to be a herd of gazelles. That's going to help him quite nicely, because this one in front could be taken by Bastion pretty soon. This will be an interesting choke point, as you can see. Water here, water here. This will be an important point to actually wall off. Looking at TC so far, we can see that this is third of Alfheim. It's not really bad, but it can be cut off from him if someone decides to go aggressive. And he is also very cut off from his teammates, so he will be pretty much on his own, I'm afraid. Because this seems like Tadao will be going faster heroic with Isis, and Matopato, well, he's closer to him. It's kind of strange how yellow is really far away. He's right now building temple, so he is preparing, but he has to go back right now. That's quite a ways off. And considering other DCs, this one, that's pretty terrible actually. That's pretty terrible for GVT, because this is Tadao's third, and that's in the middle of the map, way, 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 way away from him. This third from Bastion, well, it's not really great because it's cut off from him by water by some extent, but I'm not really sure it's gonna be that much of a hindrance considering the powers of the teams. And the other TCs, this is third of Madafang it seems, and this one is Torgales, so yeah. Okay. We can see that Torgale has just gathered a faster moving of villagers, right? Where is his temple? Here it is. Yes, faster villagers, as we saw, but he's not advancing yet. He is still waiting to gather up. And we can see Matapato is actually grabbing a second TC in Archaic. And he sees another relic. Infantry build time is faster. Yeah, that could help, but possibly it's better for Norse. Well, this is an interesting idea and strat, obviously, because he won't be advancing into any rushing kind of position, so he is aiming for a boom. And, well, if he's aiming for a boom, he should probably wall up to defend against Arafang and Bastion's raiding. ArF is already 40% through Hermes, so that's going to be a decentish time, 510 or some such. And moving on to Bastien, well, he's actually already there. That's very, very fast time, and he is definitely going for some decent raid in there. And he is gathering here, so we can pretty much expect double Centaur raiding from ArFs, I think. Well, we are gathering gold here and here. Okay, that's all heading for standard faster heroic. And we have Alfheim through Forseti and Torgale through Ptah. Okay, we can see that Bastion is already annoying Alfheim. And just got this troll, which is going to die. Yeah, just one more hit. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're so slow, Theseus. But he stopped for you, and that's it. And Hippicon is going to take care of his Hersir pretty nicely. Well, right now Alfheim is trying to wall, which is kinda late, but I guess better late than never. Same could be said about Rafang, but he did wall much sooner. So he will be pretty much protected. I would guess another wall will be coming around here, and he will be protected really to the fullest. Right now Alfheim has played heal his spring to actually heal his almost dead Hersir. And well, Alfheim is doing the right thing. He is building wall segments one by one, not really finishing them, so that the path is blocked in the shortest time possible. But the wall won't be coming up. And yes, Alfheim probably messaged for help or asked his teammate for help, and that's why Tarao is coming here. He is already up in or not? Not yet, so he's not fast heroine, he is booming as well, the same as his teammate Matto Pato. And well, Torgale is reacting the same, also going for a boom. Azera, you would expect that. That's going to be some 2 TC faster heroic, I would guess. And we see everybody going for it. Arhafang also second TC. And well, that's pretty much it. Bastien and Alfheim are engaged in some early fighting here. We can see that Theseus has actually found the hunt, which is pretty dangerous for Alfheim right now, especially when he has to move with his villagers. But he has a nice amount of piggies here, so he should be fine for at least a moment here. But Bastien is doing a very nice job actually raiding his wood. And these villies are already on lower health because of those 2 lions, obviously. So that seems like even nature is against GVT here. Pretty nice job from Bastien, and he has a very nice army right now. Looking at the right side, we can actually see that Matopato, even though he went 2 TCs, he is trying to somehow harass his enemy Torgale. But Torgale is already up in, or he's at least preparing, because you play a Rain with so many farms when you want to up. Blacksmith armor is up, so yeah, that's pretty much what is coming here. Arhafang has built his stables pretty forwardishly, so he will be definitely raiding a lot and doesn't prepare and is not preparing for any defense anytime soon. So how's it going here with Bastion? Come on. Come on, come on. We need to do something. And he is, but just forgot about this army, so once this connects, he should be pretty much fine, because, well, Norse units are not as strong as Greek ones. But so far he's just running around, trying to fight some villies without the protection of an army. And he's doing quite a decent job here. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that's a lot of downtime for Alfheim so far. He will be really down here. Yeah, this is just a waste of resources, I'm afraid, for Alfheim. And how's it looking with actually Arafang's raiding? We can see that he is raiding on Teal. He's at least trying, but not really all that significantly. But once he joins Alfheim here, or rather his teammate Bastion, that's going to be trouble for him. Because double army of Hippicons Hmm? That's not looking good for you, GVT. Well, that's a decentish army. 14 Hippicons. Right now you could be actually thinking about upgrading. Because I think that would be a wise thing to do. But he is actually thinking about advance, it seems. Don't forget the GVT right now have ancestors, so they could help somehow, but with the amount of armies ArF actually have in attack here, not really exactly sure it will be enough. And Alfheim is in trouble, because right now he just finished his golden mine and he needs to go somewhere further. This one is being protected by Bastion scouted, and the other gold is, well, nowhere inside. That's actually right here near Tadao. He might have to move here. Tadao is trying to take this TC, which he will succeed with, because Arafang just found him a tad too late, which is unfortunate, and Arafang is playing really well. He was already having medium hippie guns. Medium hippie guns are pretty much okay against a heroic army of Negi, so he shouldn't be really worried about advancing. And as you look at Bastian, yeah, he's definitely not allowing Alfheim to get the gold. And there's a gold mine I actually missed. That's close to him, but as you can see, it's trouble. But at the same time, Bastian's units are pretty much dead, so it's not like he has a massive army here. It seems like in numbers, but not in reality. The hit points are really seriously low here. Matapato is through Thea, so let's check quickly how he's looking at the right side. Well, Torgale is through as well, as we expected earlier. And we have some interesting locusts here, and Raiden through Rock and Petsuchos. Well, those Trumas, those should spell end of this rock, actually. They are just running there, so they will probably catch up with him sooner or later. And Arafang is right now at 3 TCs, which should allow him to actually dominate this game pretty soon. Right now, Bastian is picking an interesting battle here. He's actually winning against some smaller amount of units from Tadao and Alfheim's main army, but he is so far successfully choking Alfheim of any resources. Well, this is pretty terrible. This is hunters, I think, and he is forced to move here. Yeah. Otherwise, Arafang is gathering gold kind of adventurously right here. He's really trusting his abilities to cover himself, and well, he doesn't really have a reason to doubt it, because as I said, medium hippicons are really a strong unit, and you can see why. But they should be really careful ours here, because Torgale is being doubled by Matopato and Tadao, who is not really pushing enough army into the middle against Arafang, and Arafang is forced to actually go and help him. Well, you can see some nice wall in here from Torgale. That's a really nice job, and that's very hard to come through. And we can see that Red actually doesn't have any useful units. No siege towers here, nothing, so this Migdol is pretty much all it takes to protect this base, together with some chariots and omnipresent camels. Looking at the left again, Bastian is stealing third from Alfheim, who is the only one on 1 TC right now, and he might be running into some unfortunate situations rather soon, once Bastian actually is at 3 TCs. But he should also be careful not to leave his way open. There should have been a wall right away, right when he saw this. And right now we can see a bit of a raid in here from Bastian in different spot. And he is closing the jaws here. Yeah, also from the left. Nice job right there. Oh wow. Yeah, he needs to gather everybody into the Migdol, but problem for him, doesn't really take all the villies. But this was really costly for Bastion, but I think it was kinda worth it. Maybe if he microed a bit better, he could have killed more villagers here. But still, it wasn't bad. And we can see that the raiding will be will be returned in kind through the spy here. That's a very nice raid on Bastion's villies. And he's actually, Alfheim is trying to build a wall here, which is a very nice strategy to actually block the villies here. And this hurts. This hurts so much. Okay, let's go to the right, where battle is raging on in fullest. And Torgale's taking the battle to the right. Well, siege towers is all that was missing here from GVT. And right now we can see that ArFs are actually employing them very nicely. And well, the army is not really all that big, but it's not like Red has any army that can actually compete and delete those siege towers. You can see that, oh, and we have ancestors, and they are going right here into the right side to actually protect Red from Teal. Well, this will stop Torgay for a moment. Not really sure it's gonna be enough, but okay, it's at least something. And we can see first destroys popping up to take care of the siege towers. So this battle is pretty much resolved. You say Alfheim is through Bragi, but does he have enough army? Well, he has just this, and these are just villies, so that's it. In the middle though, Bastion and Abhafang are fighting full 2v2, where actually Alfheim is not really supplying all that many units into this battle. This is pretty much Tadao all alone so far. And you can kind of see where this is going from here. But mercenaries could actually help. Yeah, this is why ArF has to actually retreat, because those guys are pretty good against horses. And that's all ArF actually have. How's it looking here? Matopato is trying to secure this gold through this palace, and Tadaho is actually sending some backup units. And Arafang is through Hephaestus. Well, that's the most trouble. That's the most trouble actually GVT could have gotten into. Though GVT is trying some nice board destroying of TCs. That's a decent strategy because boards are strong against TCs, and together with those allies, this TC could actually go down because they do have the advantage here. This TC is down, most definitely. And piggies, they are coming in. 5 piggies right now, and he still has flaming weapons. I'm not sure if actually takes effect on boars. Well, it should, it's on all units I think. But still, this was a pretty nice effort from Yellow. It was pulling just the shortest end of the rope so far, but not anymore. And yeah, we see some ceasefire here for Bastion, because he needs to build this TC to be actually on par with his enemies and apply further pressure. As on the right, the situation is not going as well for Torgale either, but well, it's not going as well. We can also say that it's going decently well, because he's by himself on 2 TCs, holding Matapato on 3 TCs, and actually engaging like half or maybe even more than half of Tadao's army, so he is actually doing decently well. Well, how's it looking for actually Arhafang? I'm just looking for some temple. Yeah, here's the temple for spamming Colossi. He's having just 3 villies and he is upgrading Colossi. Yeah, the nonsense will be strong in this one again. We can see Osiris, Horus, and Bastion is the only one actually who is in classical. Son of Osiris, and how's it looking here? Yeah, this is Torgale's Tornado, and taking down TC. This should be going down as well. Yep. Alright, but now he should follow with army, but he doesn't really have any. That's kind of a weird timing, to be honest. Even though ArF is trying to help with the Colossi, I think Torge could have waited a bit more. But he might actually be popped, because he's just at 2 TCs, and he's having a trade route, so he might be actually popped there. I'm not exactly sure. Alright, this large battle on the left side is quite nice. Alfheim has no upgrades. How's it looking for ArF? Of course, pretty great ones, all great ones, at least some. And Bastion also having none. Interesting. And Tadao, well, some are there. This DC is also coming down, so it seems like the ceasefire was pretty much a waste of time there and got power. Interesting. And, well, ArF is trying to do something with the Petrobolai, but they won't really survive all that much to this Son of Osiris. And we can also see on the right side that Matopato is actually trying to steal a 30C from Torgale on the minimap, if you look there. And at the same time, ArF is trying to steal one from Tadao, because this is Tadao's, yeah. Oh, these chariots will take care of these willies quite nicely though. And right now, Alfheim's Nidhogg is all it takes to actually secure this DC. He might be thinking about taking it as soon as he can. Oh, well, Bastion, you had a very nice start there, but you are really lagging right now. This is pretty much on ArF and Torgale's backs right now. This battle is not going well for ArF, or sorry, for ArF, but the right side, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It's going great for ArF, and you can see why. Because of the mercenaries here, catapults, and once Torgale takes this 30C, he'll be a beast as a mythic with all those mercenaries, but yeah, it's not coming up. Matopato is definitely against this idea. This one is up. ArF not yet. And so far, this game is not really going ArF's way so far. It seemed that it would kind of easily for like 15 minutes, but right, it's not really. Right now, it's not really going well. And Alfheim should be taking this DC kind of soon, I think. Yeah, those guys are pretty strong against buildings, especially. But ArF is not really giving up on this DC, and when he's at 4, well, there's going to be trouble. And you can see the Tadao with the Son of Osiris, who is going to be dead, kinda not really long from now. But those mummies are pretty great against Colossi, because they can destroy them right on. And, well, he's the guy doing the battle here. The TC is up, that's going to help him immensely, because that's all the more Colossi abuse, I think. And how's it looking here? Torgale is really trying hard to actually get the TC, but he should be really careful here, because Matopato is trying to build dog here, ArF replying in kind, so at least ArF are very aware this nonsense cropping up. Well, this time Torge will be at 3 TCs, and he will have a much shorter time of actually reaching his enemy, Matopato, through mercenaries, so this side should definitely be going in Torgale's favor. In the middle though, ArF is doing all he can to apply some pressure on Tadao, who is right now at 2 TCs, which is a problem when ArF is at 4. But still, Alfheim is really doing nicely against Bastion, and Bastion has really absolutely nothing right now. He's still not even advancing. Is he maybe even some TC advancing? Yeah, he's at least advancing right now, but still, he's ways off and he is getting destroyed here. Alfheim, who is doing a very nice job. Though he could use some upgrades, really. At least Bastion has some. In the middle though, well, it should be going for Adafang, but it's not really going all that fast as it should, as he would like to. He has pretty nice upgrades. How's it looking for Tadao? Also nice. But this is just a question of time, I'm afraid, for GVT. There's really no reason why this shouldn't be coming up right into Tadao's base quite soon. We can see that Torgil actually successfully stole a TC from Matopato, and right now he is abusing mercenaries to the fullest. And well, why wouldn't he when he's at 4 TCs Azera? That means that he has trade route that supports him fully, and he won't be having any trouble with gold anytime soon. This should be pretty much a game from Pato. He can't really compete with 4 TC and soon actually 5 TC Ra. And in the middle though, Arafang is... well, I was expecting him to actually destroy his enemy Tadao, who is at 2 TCs, but he really has to concentrate on helping his teammate Bastion right now, who needs to take this TC as soon as he can. Yeah. Though not really sure this is a clever idea. The position is not really secure for ArF, so these fields are pretty much dead meat, I'm afraid. Switching a bit to the right, where is another battle raging. Okay, so Rafang switched to Hoplites to actually kill the elephants sooner, and since Hoplites have a decent attack against buildings, he should be raising this forward base very easily. Matopato has lost TC, yeah, and he's down to just one, and Torgel just now stealing this Asperids tree. Let's allow him to pump another units right into Matopato's base, and he's pretty much out of the game right now. He still has just 1 TC, but not really anything he can do against 5, soon 6 TC Ra. Son of Osiris is dead, and even though Alfheim is still trying to punish Bastion here and Arafine at the same time, it's not like they should really get away from ArF right now. We have some shifting sands. Oh, yeah, that was a nice shifting sand to actually help his teammate Bastion, who is going to take this TC. Yep, that's a very nice play actually. Because this is secured part of our Gale, and this is the safest TC to grab, much safer than this one on the left, where the position is definitely not secure for ArF, and it's open battlefield here. But really, there is no way back from GVT from this, and this was kinda more interesting game than I expected. At the start it looked like ArF will steamroll them, but then GVT played very, very well, especially Alfheim really got back into the game and applied some nice pressure, but in the end the skill prevailed. GG. Yep, very good game. Let's check how is it looking here. Torgale was the MVP, yeah, I agreed on that. Even maybe better than Adafang, that's kinda interesting. Torgale 112, yeah, so he was probably housed at the 2 TCs back then when I mentioned it. Improvements 421, that was very fast. But 2340 for heroic on the other hand. Wow, upgrades, upgrades, upgrades. Good job. Good job. I'm just looking if maybe there was some sling. Doesn't really seem so.